Hello everybody, welcome to the Samui Swine Classic. This is the 7th edition. It is presented by Innova. We are here in beautiful Thailand on an island. Thanks to Terry Miller for filming. I'm Paige Pierce.
And Nate Perkins joining you today on the mic. We've got Philo Brathwaite, previous champion of this event. And one of the cool things about this event is that the first round, you're almost guaranteed to play with someone from a different country.
Yeah, that's really cool. As you see, Philo shaking hands with Yutaro, Johan, and Teemu. Every country here, or every player is representing a different country, so it's really cool to see all the international competitors coming here. I believe we have 16 countries represented this year. Hole 1 is 144 feet.
Triple Mando.
All you got to do is put it through dead straight. But it's one of those ones that kind of makes you think about it, you know? Like, we don't usually throw a distance this short, so...
Distance control, it's so short that it's tough to control that distance.
Yeah, and
as you said, it's not very often that we're throwing 150 feet off the tee.
Right, and just like making sure your speed control is good. If you go deep out of the back, you don't really have a putt, so gotta slow it down.
Teemu going lefty forehand, giving it a decent run. Got to spend some time with this guy right here, Johan. Solid dude out of Sweden.
Yep.
Good times with him.
Yeah, he put up a good bid from a straddle stance about 45 feet, but couldn't quite connect. Oh my gosh. Great birdie. Wow.
Yeah, beautiful putt to start off the round and the tournament.
Coming right back good. at the tee pad. He overthrew it, and oh no. You could see those chains were still actually moving on that. I wonder if that kind of visual got to him right there. Philo carded in a pretty easy birdie there, and he'll start his tournament off just the way he ended it last year. How many times has he won this event? At least 2.
I believe he's won it twice.
Yeah.
He's definitely the most experienced player in the event in Thailand.
Yep. He loves it here, and he's turning 40 this week, so it's cool to see him here.
That's
celebrating.
Amazing. He's playing some great golf, too.
So hole 2, it's 279 feet. This one is a tricky one. It's one of the more tricky holes on the course. You have to throw it straight and get a late flip, or a lot of players do opt for the sidearm wide left side and let it turn into the basket.
There's some OB early right if you get into some trouble on that right side. There's also OB past the pin.
Yeah, it's like 60 deep, and with all those trees, it's kind of hard to find, but if you do hit early, you can find it on your second shot. There's also this Mando that you're seeing right now.
This forehand could work out, and that's skipping back.
Wow. Had some good speed on that sidearm.
Might have a putt. This one is really tricky. Really fun hole to throw, though.
Yeah, it is. And a little bit low there from Teemu.
Oh, Johan puts it on a great line and just catches a little bit of that tree on the left side and kicks him down.
It was a great release, though. I thought that was going all the way.
That was that line that you were talking about, that late flipping mid-range.
Teemu now.
A little tricky approach.
Yeah. That was a good gap. I didn't even see that gap. He made it look very easy. A little bit too sharp, but he finds himself right by the basket.
It's a somewhat common putt right there, to have to putt with that mound in your way in some form.
Unless you get pin high like Yutaro did. That was such a great shot.
Yeah, that was a great forehand.
Oh!
It looked like that palm tree might have been in his line just a little bit. And this is Philo from, looks like right outside the circle.
And you can see Philo's shirt he's repping this year. We actually all got him in our players pack. Wow, solid putt.
Such a clean putt.
Right in the center. But yeah, we all got those shirts in our players pack, and it was really cool to see everybody repping those out there.
Custom
Dry fit.
jerseys.
Yeah, with our country on our sleeve and our PDJ number and our last name. Super cool. Good hit there from Teemu. That putt from Philo was just so dead center.
Yeah. After watching him walk it in, it was more like 45, and he hit it right in the heart. All right, hole 3. It's 197 feet, but it is an island hole. These two trees right here make the front of the island. You can see the walls behind the pin. They make the back. Probably the hole on the course with the greatest potential for swing and separation.
Yeah, definitely. It's so easy to go OB on this one. If you just throw it just a touch too fast, you're going to find OB. Philo perfectly places that one, though.
It's a touchy little tee shot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit any of these early trees, the chances are that you're going to be out of bounds. That one right there, Teemu just squeaked by that one. That one is, you hit that tree, you're almost certainly going to be kicking short and out of bounds.
Johan. Oh my gosh.
Super smooth.
Look at
prodigy
that touch.
Putter shot. Believe it's a PA3 that he was throwing. And this is a PA1. Oh, and there's that tree. I think it might have kicked forward.
Oh,
and it did.
Is safe.
He's safe.
They actually made the island a little bit bigger this year on that front side. So if you did hit an early tree, unless you kicked severely left or right, you were going to be safe. But those palm trees, I've noticed out there playing around those palm trees, they really kick you far. Like when you hit a tree.
Philo taking his meter in. Tapping in for his 3rd consecutive birdie. And that's what this tournament's really all about, isn't it, Paige?
It is. Get the birdies. Every hole, almost every hole's reachable. So you really got to make sure you card the birdies. And, you know, if you mess up a drive, you still got to make a putt.
Yeah, so there's 11 holes on the property. Just one par 4, correct?
Yes.
So we're looking for 10 2s and a 3. We're running that twice. So
yep,
make that 20 2s and 2 3s.
Yeah,
chasing down
of course.
perfection.
Yeah, of course we're not going to shoot perfect, but there are that many opportunities out there, and you know, to win a tournament with this many experienced players, you gotta get a lot of those.
Yeah, we brought James Conrad this year, so we know the bar is raised just that much.
All right, hole 4, sponsored by Beer Vanna. That was an awesome sponsor that we had at this event. This one is 305 feet. This one is very tricky. There's one major gap on the left side that a lot of players go sidearm down, or Philo is going to attempt the straight gap. Wow, that gap is so small.
A little squeaky with that rock on the right side. We'll have to wait and see where his lie is. Johan also gets a little squeaky and pushes up there. If you hit early right there, and if you drop down below this gap that you're trying to punch through, it can bring the bogey into play.
All right, here's how it's supposed to be thrown. Teemu showed us what was up right down the path.
See if Yutaro can get another forehand down there. Oh, and that looks like it's on a great line.
That was a pretty stable. It stabled up pretty quick with that D2 and actually found that inside gap Philo was aiming at. Great approach there through that small gap. Now Philo's kind of in between a putt and a throw. Looks like he wants to make this one, though. It's a great bid from 90 feet. Very similar position from Yutaro.
It's a little breezy on the track.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. Teemu went deep.
Whoa.
Oh, I mean, he went 50 feet deep. Really hard to do on hole 4.
Yes, it is. Wow, and you're talking about the wind. Look at those trees. Oh, no.
Just pushes that one a little right. Yeah, the palm trees are blowing. Sunshine's definitely out, though.
Yes, it is. That's
Plenty
one thing
of that
about,
to go around.
Yeah, that's one thing about traveling to Thailand for this tournament. I mean, every day that you're there is going to be sunny and 80 to 90 degrees and just surrounded by beauty.
Yeah, you can't really tell from watching this video, but the island where this course is a true paradise.
Here we are on hole 5. Disc Baron sponsored this one. This is the par 4 that you were talking about, 627 feet. And this one has so many different options to choose from. I mean, like, this is probably the hole with the most palm trees. But
sure.
That makes it to where it has the most...
many lanes.
Yeah, so many different ways you can attack it.
And so the trees on the far right, there's an OB line right at the start of those trees. And then there's also an OB line on the left that kind of curls forward and to the right that forms this fairway. The right-hand backhand is kind of straight, late fading. And Teemu looks real solid off the tee right now. He kind of floats one down there and he's in prime position.
Yeah, that's a really good spot to be, and the fact that he's so far left on the fairway really makes his second shot a lot easier. Oh man, Yutaro flipped that one over quite a bit too much, and he's going to be challenging that OB line on the right side. I do remember having a hard time gauging the wind on this hole because this is the one that you really want to rip on a driver, and you have OB left and right, and you just really want to make sure to place it well.
So Yutaro is pretty pinched off over there on the right. He just pitches up around the corner. And this is what Teemu is left with after excellent drive.
You do have two options on this approach too. This gap that he's going down or under the trees on the right side. Of course, the lefty, he's going pure hyzer, but it didn't quite get stable enough for him.
Yeah, that wind just straightened it out. And Philo would really love this one to have hyzered out a little bit more, but he's left with this tricky right side gap.
Ooh, he tried to flex something overstable down that right side. It was a great attempt, just a tiny bit too early out of his hand.
Yeah, that was that rock 3 that we've seen so much of already this year since this event. Philo has really been playing some solid disc golf this year. It's cool to watch this tournament and see it as, I mean, this is where he started to get it going.
Wow, Teemu, moving to 2 under after that 50-foot putt right there. That was as solid as Philo's on the second hole.
Yeah, absolutely. And Teemu had asked me just before this round started how I handle the nerves, and
Oh,
He
really?
was kind of expressing that he was feeling rather nervous going into this filmed round. And it looks like he's handling the pressure pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's only sitting 2 back of Philo right now, and you know, Philo played the first 3 holes perfectly. So moving into hole 6, this one's sponsored by Dude. Another great sponsor. It's awesome to see how many people sponsor this event from so far away. So thanks to all the sponsors. This one's 436, and this one's kind of like a pretty hard par 3. You know,
Yeah, it certainly is.
longer range par 3. This one has OB on the left side and on the right side as well. You can see them marked with those red flags.
And it's dead flat too, so it's a real 430-foot drive.
Wow.
And Philo,
He goes the ante gap on that one?
that is such a sweet line to take on this hole. And you can see there he has those angles down.
Yeah, he does.
That was perfectly thrown. It looks like it might have turned over just a little bit too much, and he's going to be outside the circle.
Teemu takes the
hits
more
a nice gap.
Yeah, the more traditional gap, I would say, but that one was kind of turned over, and he's going to be short about 80 feet.
Oh, look at that shot from Johan. That was a rope.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Getting to display some of his distance. I know I got to practice with him a few times, and he was ripping some shots.
Nice. Oh, I loved that line. It was really on track to the basket, but just a little bit higher would have got some more distance and hopefully got past that tree. But that's, you know, like keeping in mind, like you said, we do play this loop twice.
Yeah.
So these players are going to get to use what happened on that first loop around and try to correct their mistakes from there, or try to duplicate their, you know, park jobs. It's kind of fun.
It's a very rare format for a sanctioned tournament to play the same hole twice in the same round.
No way.
Man. Oh, 2 thumbs down from us as well, Johan. That looked like it was in.
I hope he can keep a good mindset going into the next hole because, you know, ooh, great
That
putt.
is Philo from pin high. That's a solid birdie.
Yes, it is.
Probably
It
the
almost
best
feels
birdie
like an
that you
eagle.
can get on the property.
Yes, I would agree. Man, Johan had some struggles putting early in this round already, and he finally hits one solid, and that happens. That's just very unfortunate. Really taking his time here.
This place is so well manicured, as you can see here.
Mm-hmm.
Nigel is very proud of how much the grass here under the palms resembles the carpet. He loves it.
Hole 7, 344 feet. This one's by Capital City Flyers. They are actually from the United States, from Sacramento. So that's awesome. This one's pretty much dead straight, but with the Mando on the left, you kind of have to give it a little bit of turn early in the flight and let it stable up. And wow, that's exactly what Philo's doing. Beautiful.
Philo is on it to start this tournament out.
That was picture perfect, exactly how you want to throw it. See what Teemu can do with the lefty sidearm here. He's going to have to turn this one quite a bit to make sure. Oh, not quite that much, though. That turned into a roller. And got a little bit of ground movement. We're going to have to see where that one ended up.
This is a really fun shot to attempt. These first trees on the right really make you think about the angle of release because you, as you said, you need to kind of force one over to make sure you miss that Mando. That's a good 250 out into the fairway.
Oh, like we're talking about those trees. He barely squeaked around them.
That's going to be money.
Wow.
Oh, yes. It's so much fun throwing through palm trees.
Yeah, it is.
It creates perfect disc golf lanes.
Yeah, and this is also, first big tournament of the year. Beautiful course, beautiful island, great hospitality. We're literally playing in the tournament director's backyard. And such a good cheap vacation. It's just such a great spot to be in January playing disc golf in palm trees.
Near the equator.
Oh, man, he hits that last one from 50 and can't convert on that one.
Oh, look at this wind right here. Blowing Philo's Thailand shorts around. You could recognize those elephants anywhere.
Yep. Another super solid birdie from Philo, moving him to 6 under. Now getting a little gap in this scorecard.
6 under through 7.
Yeah.
It's gonna be par.
Hole 4.
Yeah. And that was an absolute park job from Yutaro.
Hole 8, 312 feet. This is actually my favorite hole on the
Dead
property.
straight.
I love this one. There's OB left, that's just down that little ditch, and then there's OB deep, which is like a little bit of a creek bed, and just past the basket it does dip down. So if you overthrow this one, it's easy to go down that.
It's got some nice sand around the pin too, though. So if you really park it, you can see that sand kind of kick up on the bucket.
Yeah, the last tree you see is about 20 feet short of the basket. So if you get towards that tree, you know you're inside the circle. But like you said, if you park it, you see that sand, and it's very fulfilling.
Philo threw that rock pretty well, and he looks like he's landed just short of the circle. And Yutaro skips that forehand off into the right.
A little bit short of pin high. He's going to have a little bit longer of a putt than he wanted. Johan, I like that one. Oh, you see the sand. That's how you know he got close to pin high, but a little bit on the right side. I like how it just elevated down. Teemu with a great gap over there, dead straight through it. Didn't get that hyzer finish, so he's going to have... Wow.
Everyone's down there. Yutaro is furthest out with pin high 40-footer. And Philo from 28 feet.
He can't miss right now. I feel like there's something about Philo playing in Thailand. He comes alive. He comes alive out in Thailand.
He's got a lot of fans out here. A lot of love, a lot of respect for the man for coming out over the past few years. There we go. Get back on that birdie train.
Yutaro actually has a little tester. Good hit there, though.
We are moving right on into Birdie Alley. First of the 3, hole 9, 213 feet. Dead straight. You do have OB long if you cook this one. There also is OB left, but as you can see, short and simple, but Philo hits the tree you need to miss, and that is outside the circle.
This one does have OB deep.
Shot.
Wow.
Oh no, he didn't. That was halfway up the basket. Johan almost aces on film. So close, Paige.
That was so great.
Oh no way. That is... Oh, excuse me. That is the worst case scenario kick right there.
That's kind of what we're talking about. When you hit the palm tree, if you hit the side of it, that thing just ricochets, and he's going to find OB
he found
over
that
there.
OB, yeah. This definitely isn't the hole to take a 4 on.
Philo, though, this is the farthest we've seen him away from a basket, and it's on the second shortest hole.
Yeah, you can see even with as many birdies as he already has, to miss this one, it's still frustrating.
Ooh, that was a great bid. A little bit more power, that would have found the center of the chains. Pretty severe tailwind Philo's looking at.
Hits it pure.
All right. I like his focus on the short ones. He definitely doesn't take those for granted. He kind of psyched me out for a moment there. All right, and a drop-in birdie from Johan. 2 in a row, moving him to under par. And we're going into the second hole of Birdie Alley. This one's a tough one, right?
Yeah, this one is tricky. There's 4 or 5 different ways you can throw this one. Right hand backhand often is kind of throwing one high that stalls out and almost comes backwards. There's a gap that Johan's taken that's kind of straight at it, and he made that look super simple, but that is a very tight gap. He kind of had to get that putter to flip up straight. And here's that kind of stall shot that Philo just attempted there with his mid-range. He's going to be inside the circle.
I would say that that's the biggest gap on the hole, but it's just such a weird shot that we never really throw.
All right, what is Teemu lining up here? A little force over.
Okay.
Scooted up there.
I like the idea. A little bit more turned over than he would want, but he still got up there. I mean, this hole's only 197 feet, so... a little bit high there. Philo looking to get back on that birdie train.
Moving to 8 under through the first 10 holes of this tournament.
All right, and a birdie from Yutaro as well. And 3 in a row from Johan. We got one more hole left on this front loop, and these players are going to get a second chance to attack these holes again, and I'm curious to see what they change, if they change anything.
Nigel's barbecue, and we are headed back to Nigel's house right there. Hole 11, 197 feet. Little forehand pitch shot, little flippy putter shot. Those trees right there are the ones you need to beat. It's hard to really pick that gap. There is a one that is open and wide to the left. Can't really see it from this camera view right now. Philo choosing to go straight at those trees.
Yeah, and if you do hit those last 2 trees that you see right there, it's a 40-footer, so you have a chance, but you don't want to be 40 feet away on a 197-foot hole. So, like you said, you just got to squeak by those ones right there. Oh, and that's actually heading towards out of bounds over by Nigel's house.
Philo's going to shoot 9 down on the first loop. I think that's the best I've heard of on the 11 holes.
Yeah. And he made it look easy.
Yeah.
And this is so cool because as we're heading back towards Nigel's house, you can go get a fresh fruit smoothie. You can grab some water, some Gatorade. You can order your pad thai that can be ready at the end of the second 11-hole loop. It's just such a great place to play disc golf and feel like a king.
Yeah,
right?
It's a great tournament setting.
All right. We have 2 long bids, didn't quite convert. And now we have Johan for his 4th birdie in a row. All right. What a way to pick up the pace there at the end. And, he still has 11 more holes in this first round to make something special happen. Almost aced. That was crazy. Really fun to watch. Philo, like you said, for 9 under through 11 holes. And he's just getting started, I have a feeling.
Yeah. And shout out to Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, for being out here. He's all over the place these days. He's just truly dedicated to the game. It's really special that we get to see the disc golf that went down in Thailand.